Good morning, everyone. We're back. We are back. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving and a good weekend and you relaxed. And hopefully some of you made a bit of money last week. We're in a bullish market cycle. All right, continuing that consolidation, slow grind up that we've seen now for probably about the last 2 weeks of trading day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, today is the 10th day that we're trying to reclaim that push on NQ up towards the highs that we put in straight after the election euphoria. So starting as we always do on the daily chart, and then I'll get back into chat. I just want to get you covered. All right, so this is our all-time high. All right, this is what we put in after the election, before the consolidation, that fib pullback, that 61% pullback, and since then we've been slowly grinding up. Now it's important to remember, we talked about it before Thanksgiving, this high here was created in the London and Asia session, so there is not a huge amount of volume up there. So I expect that to be a weak high, and I expect us to push through it. Bear with me. Sorry, a little bit of a cold. So I expect us to drive up into that at some point. Now, it's possible that this week, right, we're building this lovely liquidity and trend. Got to be careful about liquidity grabs before moves up. But so far, every single dip, right, has been holding. You can see all these daily candles. Every long wick down has been soaked straight back up to the upside. At the same time, we're watching ES, okay? ES is very, very, very close to all-time highs, just sitting about 8 points off all-time highs. So a good indicator this morning will be if you have relative strength in the ES, if the NQ is lagging and you get the ES starting to break out of all-time highs and basing above, then you need to be thinking about bullish momentum plays, because you've got absolutely no supply above head on the ES. So once that starts get going, there's no reason for it to fail. Okay, so diving back down into some higher time frame charts now. We can think about the rotation again. On the daily, we're holding the 5-day, 5 days above the 20-day. We have room to push up to the top Bollinger. That top Bollinger right now on NQ is sitting just above all-time highs. So on the hourly chart here, you can see again a strong liquidity trend being built. We have some old point of controls here to be tested into 21,109, 21,000. What's this? Let's get a... make sure we get an accurate read here for you all. Yeah, 21,100, then 21,100 and sort of 85, 80, and 21,200. And then everything above 21,230 really is just overhead supply that we created in that London Asia range. So I'm interested if we can put in a sort of a grind day up towards there and extend out. All right, so watching these old POCs in this cluster up here to see if we can start turning these into demand. Remember, in terms of a pattern, if we are able to base around here for a few days, we will use this liquidity here. All right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We just need to get up here and then do the breakout retest move. I'm not saying that happens today, but I'm saying we could set up for it later in the week. So I'm going to at first be looking for bullish momentum probably today, but I'm going to be looking for good areas of value. All right. Ideally, as you all know, I like to see a trap. I want to see one side trapped in the market before I play, but I'm certainly not going to be looking to join the trend up high, and I'm not going to be guessing tops today. If we start to fail into some of those areas of supply that we've talked about, like last week's high, 21,000, I'll need to see ES failing as well, and then we can join that counter trend. Short back to the downside. Looking at the bookmap, biggest orders I can see on the tape right now, 21,100 has an order of 77 blocks sitting there, not much above them, and to the downside there's a 200 lot sat right down at 20,887. So keep your eye on those for later on in the session. Getting into the chat, good morning Jeff, Chris, Ramus, Marek, DJ Noah, Miguel, Max, Exister, good to see you all. Max says he's trying to start off day one of passing a 50 eval on Top Step X. All right, lovely. Yeah, take your time, use NQ, no reason to force that. If you didn't see, okay, Apex just started today, a 90% sale. It's going to last, I think, for 48 hours, that 90% sale across all accounts. And then you've got lifetime fees. I think they were $125 across any account size. So if you're looking to load up 20 accounts, right now is the time to do it. All right, 90% sale. I think that's the second 90% sale they've had of the year. So those do not happen often. So if you want to load up, now's a good time to do it. So just gonna wait here to the open. Bear with me a second. Other things worth noting is news. All right, we have news coming today, 9:45 and 10 o'clock news. And as always, we have headlines coming out of both the Middle East and the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So you need to be keeping your eyes on those, right? As I always say, use hard stops just in case a headline hits. You don't want to be caught off guard. But what news is coming today? 9:45, you've got PMI number. 10 o'clock, ISM manufacturing, construction spending, and then you have some Fed speakers later on in the day. I don't expect to be around in the market for that. All right, just looking to trade this morning session and see what we get. Looking for the rest of the week. Tomorrow is a big number, all right? Job openings, that will matter. And then in the afternoon, you've got lots of Fed talkers, so expect the market to slow right down while they are talking. Wednesday, you've got more PMI and you've got Jerome Powell, all right, 145. So maybe the market waits for Wednesday and you just see that he's talking there. Thursday into jobless claims, all right, huge number there. And Friday, we expect that big trend continuation on Fridays. Morning, Penny. How many of you traded last week then? How many of you had a good session last week? The market actually offered really nice, really nice trends last week, which was surprising. I did catch a little bit a few times in the room in Discord, but I didn't trade a lot. I just executed normally off the morning push and then I was done for the day. But it did offer some nice plays last week. A pretty good pullback, offered dips, and then that continuation back into this supply point that we're in right now. So market starting to drive. You're 50 seconds from open. I'm going to let this shake out. Of course, if you're going to play that open, you can think about that opening range break, however you want to play it, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. But just remember the market is in bullish momentum right now. We're not gapping up on the SPY, but we are gapping up on the NQ. All right, so you can note that on the cash gaps. Think about the Friday close, Sunday open. So NQ, a good gap up. SPY not gapping up, pretty much flat. So here's your opening print. I'm going to give this time to shake out and see what we get. As you can see, supply up here, bullish momentum. This is H1 levels, old point of controls up here. The old point of control first. Old point of control, if it's going to drive, is 21,120. So I'm just going to let this shake out. Obviously, it's a Monday. I haven't really traded the last 5 days or so. I'm not in a rush to put a trade on right now. Let's just see what we get. So morning dip holding straight away then, all right? On an M1 that held straight into the deep pullbacks. My computer wants to catch up. All right, held straight into the deep pullback. So bullish momentum holding. We are in an upside cycle right now. I'm going to leave this on a 2 minute for a while today, just while I get my head around where we're at. Ignore that Nightbot. All right, Apex is 90% sale. So code FZT will get you 90% sale. So testing all-time high here on ES. All right, very close to that breakout. You're watching for a breakout of 60, 61-ish, clean break above that, base and hold, and you'll get that morning drive to the upside. So that's what I've got my eye on. VIX also with a huge drive down the last few sessions. All right, so trading underneath 14s. Remember, when VIX is trading in the low teens, we should be looking for upside cycles in the morning in the market. Good morning, Abe. Morning, Aaron and Taylor. Morning, Penny. So some sellers coming onto the tape then. 21,100 acting as a magnet right now for that drive up into it. That will be the equivalent of the all-time high on the ES. So there's the 100. Going to see if they reload here and try and drag it up more. So this right here is our pivot. And we're testing old point of control right here, like we talked about. You can see it on the H1. Sorry. As you might have noticed, I've picked up a cold. So now I'm really thinking about, can we hold some of this area for a redrive back up? I didn't want to play the opening bell push. But if you're playing that opening range breakout, that's your 1 minute range for continuation upside. I'm going to let this settle down for the first 5 minutes. So 2 minutes left, and then I'm going to see if it offers me a setup. Remember, we're printing comfortably above London and Asia. So every trader currently is in the money. Every bull is in the money. So today's London Asia based above Friday's London Asia for that drive up. So swings are also in the money right now. So I'm going to let this bar close another 50 odd seconds, 40 seconds for this 5 minute, just so I can see the 5 minute opening range. Morning, Mindful Matters. Do me a favor, everyone, if you're just joining now, hit that like button. Let's get this stream moving. After 5 days off, the algo's probably forgot I even exist. But back to normal business. I want to close out this year strong. Let's have a strong December. Shortened month with so many holidays. But let's close it out strong. Expect the market to close bullish this year. I really do. So that's your 5 minute bar done. So I'm now thinking about, can we pull back and hold some of this 5 minute range? Are we just going to do an opening drive straight up? Yes, did sweep the all-time high, okay, and has traded back inside. So 62 was the high, swept back inside and is holding for now. It's old point of control here. If we can get through this, we have room to drive upside on the H1, possibly up to around 285-300s. So plenty of room for upside if it's going to get going. No dip yet this morning to look at, which is what I'd really like to join. I'd really like this to give a nice pullback. ES is starting to offer a pullback on the 5 minute chart. NQ not. NQ straight up. 5 minute and 15 minute. Very, very bullish. New seller on the book, small size, but he's up at 150. So he is trying to drag that market up like we talked about. We're in a bullish momentum, as you can see. Flow zones, deep pullback, lower time frame algo, higher time frame algo. We're above the 5 day. Everything bullish right now. Shouldn't be thinking about shorts. Should be thinking about ways to get involved in this market in a bullish cycle. I'm also going to put on, where's my New York open? Right here. So I remember. So ES trading back inside its opening 5-minute range. NQ unwilling to do that right now. Just chomping through these old point of controls. Okay, so next stop for NQ, if it's going to keep going, really you're looking into the 200 region. I would really like some form of pullback and trap into here. Something like this. I can start risking off to get long. I don't want to buy all the way up here. All right, 100 points in that opening drive. 100-point move here. So I don't want to be buying and getting slammed in the first pullback on the day. We're starting to see some pressure come in now. So ES trading right back down to its opening print. NQ still not. Mag 7 all green. Very green on the day. Tesla up 3%, Nvidia 1%, Meta almost 2%, Google almost 1%, Amazon 1.5%, Microsoft 0.5%, and Apple trading at 0.8% up right now. All right, so very green across the board. Most of the FX is red on the board. Bonds still green, so treasuries are still going to have an issue. Rotation out of gold. It's holding pretty well, gold. I'm going to be honest, it's holding pretty well. Love to see a deeper pullback here. ES is offering good trades right now. We need to see NQ come back into an area of value that I can get involved in. The danger right now is if ES is a failed breakout of that all-time high and just wants to trade lower on the session. Got to be very careful about that, as it has swept the liquidity. Going to require some patience here to be involved. Like I said, Monday morning, first trading day of the month. Didn't really trade actively last week. I'm gonna just slowly ease my way back in this week. I'm not in a rush to put a trade on here. We can get a nice fib pullback, some form of W, inverted head and shoulders, some form of trap, I'll get involved. If it is a failed breakout on ES and it really wants to trade downside, then I'm going to be watching. If we're really going to start to get heavy, I need to see us underneath the New York Open, and then maybe we can think about that London Asia range. Maybe we can sweep that low at 20,950. So ES trading right back to that opening print there. I'd like a deeper move back down first before any form of flag here. Ideally, still don't want to be buying right up here. But let's see what we get. See what kind of liquidity starts to build out here. But really, I'd like some of this filled, or at least some of this. Something like this would be ideal, with ES starting to break out of its high of day. That would be ideal. Still a seller at 150 on the Qs. So here goes the flag. Joining this now for a scalp, moving my stop straight into the money, looking pretty good here. Taking a partial on that last push. Stop break even. If this flushes back down, that's fine. So it stops just under 30 for a break even. On the runner, there we go, stopped out on the runner. So a small scalp to start the day, easing my way in. Reason I'm aggressive with the stop there is we are trading in the high of day on the NQ. We're not doing that on the ES. Oh, what a shame, coming back to work and got a cold for it. Absolute nightmare. I'm going to sound terrible on mic for you guys this week. I'm sorry. do my best to shift it quickly. Okay, so maybe now we get that deeper pullback. ES underneath its opening print, back into the overnight range that it created, or at least the pre-market range. So this is the pullback I'm more interested in. I want to see how we act here. I'm paying very, very close attention to this Asian London range down here, okay? Do we hold this sort of big push on the opening drive, or are we going to start trading into Asia and London, and we can think about the liquidity that they've left down here if and only if ES is going to be a failed breakout. So I have got my eye on that just in case, but I'm still thinking about longs until it proves otherwise. All right, I'm thinking about longs today until it proves otherwise. But if it really wants to get heavy, start fading underneath the New York Open, then I will think about that Asia and London range. So right now, pull back into flow zone 1. All right, on the 1 minute, pulling back to flow zones. On the 1 minute, we're in the top of the flow zones right here. It's going to show any second now. Come on, computer. See, need to do a reset after being away. Jesus. There we go. So ES right at its New York Open after doing that all-time high clear out. So I've got my eye on that. So cleared out Friday's liquidity, trading back inside. SPY trading to VWAP right now and under VWAP. Is the deeper pullback move. Remember, we have news at 9:45. All right, so you might see risk off in the next minute. 40 seconds until that print, and then we've got more news at 10 o'clock. So just a reminder. So the book will probably start thinning out in the next 10 seconds. Still some sellers on the book. No big buyers down there that I'm interested in right now. There's an 88 lot at 900. So news in 15 seconds here. Most of the liquidity stayed on the book. Yeah, orange folders, not red folder news, orange folder news. But it's still news nonetheless. So I'm looking at this dip here to see if we're going to drive up. Right, I'm in this now. Very nice. All right, so holding flow zones, lovely. Moving my stop up into the money again. Again, the reason I'm doing that is because the divergence right now across the NQ and the ES. Very concerned if ES is going to stay heavy here on a 5-minute bar. But so far, this looks pretty good. Locking some runners in here. So this beautiful move here. Sellers tried once, sellers tried twice. Can we break out? This is the pattern we were talking about earlier. Can we break out here now? Exactly what we were waiting for. A little rebalance into flow zones, building out that bull flag now for a potential drive up. Remember, if we've trapped shorts at the top here, we can use their internal liquidity for a drive up into the next level, which would be up towards 200. So stops right now are at 140. We'll need to see NQ drive right through 140, burn all those stops for that move up to 200. There's now a seller just come on the tape at that 200, 59 lot up there. All right, so everything's starting to play into our thesis of where we think the market can go, especially with that seller sat there now. So here goes the drive. They need to get through here. A breakout of 40 will open the gate up for a 60-point move up into 200. I want to see ES get going though. Need to see strength across the indexes right now. RTY red on the day, the Dow YM also red on the day. I'd like to see those go red to green as well. I'd like to see any dip into around 20 hold here. I want to see it get weak under that. Do not want to see it get weak under the 20, 120 days. If it starts to fail that, then we can think about a new leg down, deeper to rebalance that opening drive. ES really struggling to get back towards the 60s here. NQ doing the hard work. More news at the top of the hour, so we can think about that 4 hour and the hourly bar as well in the next 15 minutes or so, just under. Feels like it wants to go here. Really feels like it wants to drive up. There we go, beautiful, through the stops. So it took some more out on that move. Let's see if it can base above here now and do that move into 200. Again, I need to see ES get going. It is a concern to me that ES has swept through all-time high, swept through Friday's liquidity, and is not driven back up there. It is basing off its flow zones on a 5-minute, which is great, but I want to see the ES and the SPY be strong. I don't want rotation to be tech-heavy only. I want to see a broad add across the markets. Remember, on a daily, NQ is lagging. We're not near all-time highs on a daily. On a daily on ES, we've just swept all-time highs and come back inside. So that's why I'm concerned. But I do think we have room on the Qs to really have a bullish week here. Q's looking very, very good here for that breakout. All right, that inverse head and shoulder type trap. We talked about this right here. Okay, we go earlier in the stream. We talked about this for the move up to 200. Looking very, very strong here to do that. Would love to see ES join. Give me better confluence. Longs entered already. Yeah, I've already entered. Like I said, I'm in from this dip here. All right, and I'm looking for the breakout to hold over here, Glenn, for that drive up. Looking very good. Beautiful. I'm starting to trail my stop up with it now. Only because ES hasn't broken out. So like I keep saying, I'm slightly cautious because ES has not broken out and sustained bids. I'm still long in this, looking very, very good. Up about 40 points on this now. Just down to runners here. A nice trade to start the week. So we've got more sellers coming onto the book here, starting to act like magnets above 175 and that seller into 200 still present. Above that, there's nothing notable above 200. Small order block at 225. Looking at the hourly, all right, remember the hourly is always my guide to where I think we can go. Looking at the hourly, we're through this first level here. So the next bunch of stops really, what's the high on this? 190, I'd say. 175 is the old point of control to 190. If we pop through sort of 200, we'll take out 1, 2, 3 point of controls in one go. And then the next pivot will be all the way up at sort of 260s, 270s. Okay, so the reason I'm taking partials here on the H1 is just because we're driving into all this liquidity here, all right? This is supply. You have point of control, 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 point of control. Lots of supply up here. It is thin as we get higher. This is just created in Asia and London. This is multiple days supply created in New York, Asia, and London. All right, so the reason I'm being cautious in this run up is because I'm respecting that. And I'm also watching ES. ES has just failed again. It's not what you want to see when you're looking for bullish continuation plays. So ES not able to reclaim that all-time high. Morning, Ryan. No worries, buddy. Hope you had a good week last week. So if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. To all my new followers and regulars, please do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get back in this YouTube algorithm after a week off. Still in this, just small size left. No reason for me to cut this yet. We're holding dips for now. If we start fading underneath 35s, I'll take it off. Can always re-add in. Looking good for continuation. Q's very, very strong today. Looking very, very good. SPY trading back into its gap from after hours Friday to open or pre-market open today. All right, so it's trading into a cash gap on the ETF currently. Lovely continuation here on Q's, looking good. So complete divergence against the ES. ES coming into a low of day. Q's looking for a high of day push. You have divergence across the indexes. Reason for that is tech is strong today. All of the Mag 7 comfortably green on the session. So new high day on the NQ. Lovely. So up 50 points here. Very, very nice. See if we can get continuation up into 200 and 220. That's the plan if it can do that. All right, but I'm moving my stop up with it. The reason for that, like I keep saying, ES just put in a double bottom at its low of day. I don't like that liquidity sat there. I don't like that it could sweep down to 6,050 to come and tag VWAP. So just trailing my stop here in case a seller suddenly comes on the tape. But looking good for a move to 21,200 here, like we've been talking about since the opening bell. Planned this out since the opening bell, really. If we can get to 200, I'd like to see QQQ and NQ just base up and around there for a session or two, because then we can make some liquidity for a giant inverted head and shoulders, and that will give me a very good thesis that we're going to drive back to all-time highs. I'd want to see us base there rather than just rip straight through everything. Build some nice bullish momentum up there on the hourly chart. Hourly and daily chart. I'd like to see us base up between where we are now and really up towards 300, 340s. So ES about to make a new low of day if it sweeps that double bottom that we were talking about. So I've got one eye on that. Might get a flush here if it starts to break down. If ES starts to break down underneath low of day into VWAP, you might get a flush moment here across the markets. All right, so that's why I've moved my stop very, very tight here into and around 50. It takes me out, so be it. That's okay. Very, very close here. See if they defend the whole number or not. But either way, I'm going to lock in 40 points on that runner. The reason I'm at 50 is because we are building trend liquidity and I don't want to give away another 10, 15 points for a move down into 35. So here's fresh low of day on the ES like we talked about. Let's see if they snap this double bottom and run down to VWAP right now on the ES. Yeah, news at the top of the hour. Yeah, 4 minutes. Thank you, TR. Appreciate you letting everyone know in chat. Very close to tagging me out on my runner. There we go. Out on the runner then. And look at ES doing exactly what we talked about. Sweat the double button into the previous daily levels. Very, very common now that it might rotate back down towards VWAP. VWAP would be at 50 flat. We're currently trading at 52s on the ES here. I'm probably going to stay flat now until the news. News just 3 minutes away. That was a nice trade. I think we got 50 points out of it on most of the size. Just trading small today as I ease my way back into this market. Be very, very careful of this liquidity trend built here. All right, if it wants to come and sweep, this is where we built stops. All right, so you would need to see it hold here for continuation. If it starts to roll here, you have this move back down into these levels, and then Asia London levels even lower. And the clue there was ES. All right, the clue there was ES. Why you have to watch across the board. That double bottom on ES looked right to get swept, which we've now done. Now trading back in towards VWAP. How many of you got that long with me? Hopefully some of you nabbed this long. All right, we talked about it this long right here. All right, I entered here, a little here, and started to take partials on the way up, and then cut the rest here into 50. Hopefully some of you got that with me. Part of it, TR, yeah, nice. You only need a part of it, all right? Looking for, you know, a little bit of meat on the bone. Don't need to get the whole piece. Max, half of it. Coop joined, got some of it. Good work. Good work. Hey, any money that we make first day of the month on a Monday is great. Look at ES now, tagged VWAP, looking to get a bounce off this now, all right? So thesis playing out here across the board. Aaron and Taylor got some of it. Morning, Tyson. Morning, buddy. So trading back into the flow zones here, ES just dipping underneath into that VWAP look, and it found a bounce there. Yes, Tyson, looking for continuation trades today, looking for higher prices. Ideally want ES to start to get above that old all-time high, which it did a failed breakout of this morning. But yeah, we are looking for bullish momentum here. Even if we consolidate the rest of the day here, it's not a bad look on the hourly chart. Setting up for that drive higher later in the week for new all-time highs. Remember, news here in 30 seconds. The book has thinned right out. So you've got a seller currently at 90. He's starting to thin out. And then you've got that other seller at 21,200. But the book very, very thin here. Most liquidity being pulled. So just think you might get slipped here if you're trading this tight to the current price levels. Just be aware of that. Just let this calm down. Going to have a look at this print quickly. Big drive up. So new high on the day on the Q. New order index came in at 50.4 versus the forecast of 48 and previous at 47. So manufacturing pretty good right now. Like we always say though, we don't trade the news, we trade the reaction to the news. Big drive up. Remember 200 still the level, and then 225. ES looking like a potential 5-minute bull flag here right now after soaking off the VWAP pretty much to the tick. Seller at 200 is still there. All right, we still have room upside if they're willing to hold this. I'd say ES really needs to get above 58s and then 60s and then do that sort of inverse head and shoulders type look. Bull flag with a breakout pullback would be ideal on the ES on a 5-minute for a drive higher. That seller is still at 200 there. Not much liquidity on the book buy side, all right? Maybe a dip down into 50 tops if they're looking to hold this with a drive. Got another 3 minutes for a 5-minute bar here. Just be aware of this liquidity. So ES cannot get above that level we just talked about. It's left lots of stops now up between 57 and sort of 59. That's the level that ES needs to get back above, really, for a drive into all-time highs. Needs to create internal liquidity there and then go hunting for it and use its stops. But right now, it is weak off that level, trading back down towards VWAP now. Can they find bids here for a new drive up? Very, very weak here on ES. Do they soak now? This is the question. This last area that they came in at, can they soak this for a drive up or not? It's back towards the daily level. VWAP just underneath. Big divergence across the market this morning. Not making it easy for traders this morning for continuation. Tech still looking very, very strong. ES just Tesla fading a little bit off that 3% high or 3.5% high, but still holding that 350 zone on Tesla. What do I mean by soak? Soak when we're driving back down into bids. Okay, so imagine a sponge and imagine water coming down. All right, so if we're selling, and that sponge just absorbs all the water, all right, those are market makers soaking up sell pressure for a move back to the upside. Yeah, so just imagine like a big sponge trying to soak all sell pressure to then drive it back up. Yeah, absorption, exactly. Absorption of sell pressure here. NQ wants to go. You can see it wants to go. It just needs the market to get in line with it. Yes, very, very weak. So if you're just joining, there are lots of sales on right now across the prop firms. Main one this morning is the 90% sale at Apex. A 90% sale, use code FZT. I think it's only lasting for 48 hours or so. Max, you have your VWAP set source to what? Open, high, low, whatever the standard one is on TradingView. Just whatever the standard deviation is. I'm not tagging it to overnight or anything like that, or New York Open. I'll always let you know when I do that. But yeah, just continuous standard VWAP. So sell pressure coming into the market here as ES is just failing to move upside at all. Every 5-minute bar here since that sweep of 60s has been in a failure pattern. All right, so we had one bounce, failed. We have created a lot of stops up there around 57, 58s, but we're just coming back down towards its old daily level now at 50, and then just under that you have VWAP. So I've got my eyes on that. They are definitely not making price action easy this morning for traders, all right? They're making sure that these indexes are in divergence. Not uncommon for the start of a month after a low volume trading week as well. But we are continue in bullish momentum on the SP on the I can't talk today on the NQ. All right, we're still in continuation phase here. So just cautious of the liquidity. All right, we know buyer stops are here and here right now. If ES gets weak, we might want to come and sweep some of these, and then we're either thinking about this or if we stay heavy, we're thinking about a move back down into the London and Asia level. So the high of London and Asia is 20,976, and the lows would be back down towards 20,940, right? Way down here towards the higher time frame algo, way down here, right? So this is where Asia, London are right now. They are comfortably in the money. I'm only thinking about that if we don't sweep liquidity, if we stay heavy, and if ES really wants to fail. But really, I'm looking for upside momentum on the day. 200, 225, and then we can reassess. Does the market really want to get going? 271, we have a pivot up there. All-time highs, 350. Monday opening range. You're talking about a 15-minute TR, Monday opening range trade. Depends what you class your opening range as. Yeah, so far we are bullish above opening range in the NQ. We have another 20 minutes until the initial balance set, and we can decide if we're going to go into a chop day. ES now looking like it might want to get going here. Can it go up and hunt those stops? I think there's a lot of stops up here around 57 to 59. Oh, Monday's the opening range. For me, Monday, Tuesday is the opening range. For me, Monday, Tuesday is the opening range of the week. Then Wednesday, your midpoint pivot. So then we're thinking about continuation, and we're thinking about weekly models. Monday, Tuesday, high and low week. That's weekly range for me. But yeah, lots of people do Monday. Opening range plus IB. Yeah, exactly, TR. So just think about this liquidity here, okay? This level here into 27, lots of bullish stops there. So just be one eye on that. Again, on the hourly, we've done most of the move. We haven't quite made the 200 mark yet, but if we just zoom out a bit here, we're very close to this set of stops here from Thursday, the 14th of November. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, a drive into those stops. From the 13th, you've got a point of control, and the 12th just above. So you see what I mean about this volume here. This is a thick volume area right here. Multiple sessions with multiple levels of stops up there. So you have to respect it when you look left. So again, not in a trade here. We took that long this morning for about 50 points, or we got about 50 points out of it, 40 points on the runner. Now we're just waiting. In fact, what is this? Off. So bullish momentum continuing here for now. Notice there's no big imbalance on this sell pressure to downside yet. Very small, tight candles here. Decent buy volume stepped in on that last dip down into 60s. You can see it right here. It's decent buy volume in there. Most of that candle was absorbed as we drove back up. So I would say quite a lot of stops right here, pretty much triple bottom now at 160. Okay, this wick, this wick, this wick, that's all internal liquidity. So maybe the market wants to take it out. Maybe those buyers are strong. ES looking much better here for a potential breakout to the upside. If it can get through this downtrend, if it can create this bull flag on an M5. Still think we want to drive up towards 200, but we're running out of room to get involved now. Now we're just 15 points or so away, 20 points away. And like we always talk about, once the low-hanging fruit trade goes, I become much less interested, because then we need to build more internal liquidity. unless we're going to go really, really bullish today and head for all the external liquidity at 270 and 350. All right, once we get into this 200 region, remember we opened today about 150 points lower. Check that opening print. 140, yeah, 140, 150 points lower. So a decent drive up in the initial balance of the session already. Do we run out of room here for low-hanging fruits? There's your high day push. It will want to head towards 200. That is a magnet. He's on the tape there, adding more at 212.50 now. Can ES start to break out? That's the question. Yes, trying. 56s now. Needs to get through 59s really. 58, 59, and then it's a straight push for that 62s. Can they shove this up? All dips into flow zone so far this morning have been holding. Yeah, still not quite able to break out. I'm waiting for that breakout pullback on ES to give me some indication what we might do here on the NQ. I still think 200 is the magnet, but like I said, we're running out of room to get involved here. Remember our buy this morning, right? I bought this dip down here into 15s or so, 15s, 20s maybe. It's 70 points lower than we're at now. Don't really want to be buying high of day currently here. But it looks like we're in slow grind day upside here. M5, M15, very, very bullish. Value area high on the day currently sitting at 21,120. So unless we create more volume up here, I'm going to be very interested in that area. 15 minutes left until we get our initial balance. Still very, very early in the day. All right, it's only been 45 minutes, very early in the day. ES looking very good here now. Right, 200 the magnet. ES needs to, like I keep saying, basically pop above 58. You'd want to see it get above 58, 59, base up there, and then put a squeeze on for a move straight through the 62s. And then you're into all-time high territory, no supply overhead, no reason to think about where that's going to stop. All right, your projections on that should then just be standard deviations and fibs for levels it might want to go to, and of course whole numbers. No reason to think about shorts, all right? No reason to think about shorts right now. Any short today will be counter trend. If it offers you a short, make sure you get that change of character, you get a strong candle down, and you can think about joining. But so far, every dip's been soaked. So any counter trend short you take, if we start to do, let's say we do something like this, right? You need to be thinking about these liquidity pools down here, and you need to take profits into it. Don't be expecting the whole move to be given back today. Very, very bullish, grindy structure right now. If it does start to really roll, we can think about those Asia-London levels like we talked about. But we are in very, very bullish momentum here, very grindy. This is often the day where shorts get absolutely blown out. What's the name of the blue and green indicator? These are my flow zones. Everything you see on here, all right, is my flow zone. You get these when you do the course. All right, so if you do my course, it's currently $499 one-time fee, 20-hour on-demand course, and you get the indicator and another indicator for free and Discord for free for life. So it's a custom indicator, not available anywhere else other than for my students. So yeah, still not able to get up to that stop run section. Another wick up there right now on this 5-minute candle. Still got a minute left until I'm tired and not well. Got twitch in my left eye now. Starting to look a little bit heavier here on an M5 on the NQ. All right, so depending how we close here will matter. Do we close heavy? Do we leave an imbalance? Does ES want to take out a new low? Or is this going to be simply a sweep of this liquidity level we talked about right here? These guys and these guys, basically right here, this is buyer's stop. So how we act here matters. Now I've got 94 orders at 200 and 57 orders up just above it for a stop run into 212. So none of that filled yet. ES, again, like we keep talking about, is staying heavy. It keeps looking good, but it's never been able to break out. Still in a downtrend on the M5. We're starting to sweep these stops now we talked about. All right, they're getting very, very close. Drop beneath 60, might get a little flush moment, and then how we react there will matter. Remember, we've got 10 minutes until the initial balance. So there's your sweep. Does it trade back upside now? Or are we going to stay heavy? These are the questions I currently have in my head. I want to see if this is a sweep of internal liquidity here for a move back up, or if we're going to stay heavy. So far, looking like a sweep. Very, very nice here, right? So we came and took that internal liquidity straight away, driving back upside. So we need to see how we react here on a candle close. Can we start to create and use this liquidity here, all right? Sweeping these stops, driving back up and taking these. Or if we stay heavy under here, we're thinking about a rotation down to the next level. Keep it very, very simple today. But remember, high time frame momentum is upside. If you're just joining the stream, we've been long today for this drive up. We have some divergence across ES and NQ, and also in RTY and YM. They've remained red on the session. ES looks like it's trying to taper a little bit, but I have got one eye on all of these right now. Not sure which direction this market wants to go in the short term here. SPY now under its VWAP. So cash buyers from the session for now are underwater from the New York session. starting to feel more and more like a potential liquidity sweep here. There is a slight imbalance ahead. Momentum, Glenn, momentum. So this is momentum cloud, and this is deep pullback cloud. Momo. I only leave all the signs on for you on stream so you can see it, but I don't have them on for me. All right, so the question here is, how do we use this liquidity? All right, do we get stuck here for this, or do we start to do this? A lot of that would depend on ES. If ES can start to get going here, then probably we're going to move back upside here on the market. So if this is going to be the first lower high and a little head and shoulders type look here, or is this going to be the trap after sweeping and a grind? ES now 55. Remember, ES needs to get through 58s, open the gate for a new all-time high push. It has started to taper, but it's definitely in a downtrend on the M5. Looking like we might squeeze here. I'm going to join this just for a little move here. I think we're looking good. I'm already in the money. Don't love that. I'm going to take this off here just for a tiny scalp and then just wait here. And we're just watching ES. I was looking at that last 5-minute bar. We're into a new 5-minute bar here. I do feel like ES wants to go and pop out. It's built so much liquidity in this downtrend on an M5 now. I think it's really getting ready to just go on a little surge. It's not going to be able to rely on tech though. Maybe a base above 55, or was that last M5 close? Needs to really base above 55.50. It's not doing that at the moment. I don't want to see it drop below 53.50 on the ES. I want to see it just go and move up through all these stops and use it as fuel. So far, flow zones, again, still holding. This is just an internal sweep here like we talked about, all right? This double bottom here, used it, searched for the internal liquidity, grabbed it, started trading back upside. All right, so internal bullish stops were here. Everyone who joined this late was here, took them out, and now maybe can use their stops to get long into and go back upside. Remember, when they stop out, they sell the market, they pair it off with buys, which is this move right here. Looking very, very good. Remember, we are only looking for upside right now. Only time I will be looking for downside pressure is if we start to break down under here and search for these. And even then, this will be counter trend. I'll be sizing appropriately for counter trend moves on the day. Yeah, that's right, Glenn. You got another 3 minutes, and then they'll come onto the indicator. They automatically print. ES looking very, very good here. All right, it's about to run all these stops. 57s now. Just another point or two, and then you might see some expansion upside here. NQ not really following. So initial balance coming up in 2 minutes. Want to be very careful if we're going to be in a rotational day on the NQ, because we're going to be right near the IB high. Still think ES has room to come and sweep these guys if it can get going. The market really starting to slow down here. Not unusual after a long weekend and Thanksgiving. Probably just a slow, grindy type of day, rather than a huge momentum day. I think that will come later in the week. So 1 more minute. Bobo took 2 longs. Yeah, I took a long as well. Yep, IB going to be set in 30 seconds. It's probably just going to be the high of day and the opening dip, and that's going to be it. And then we're going to need to see if we can get back through the IB high or not. ES about to pop these stops. It's getting very, very tight here on the ES. It wants to make that move. It's going to have a new 5-minute and 15-minute and 30-minute bar coming up on this IB. So in a range here really on ES, it needs to get above 58.25. That's where the last lot of stops are there. That will open the gate for the move back up above 60, 61, 62. Can we do this bullish move here? All right, so use this liquidity bullish move back to here, pot these stops for a move. 200, 225, remember, are the levels. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's very, very, very tight. Like I keep saying, ES needs to get going. Lovely. All right, joining this for a little bit of momentum upside. Remember, I'm watching into 200. I'm already taking a partial because I'm very careful with ES. This is starting to play out. We need to see it above IB high. Above IB high, we can think about trend day, we can think about a failed breakout, and then an initial balance day, and then we'd be thinking about VWAP if we do that. Hopefully this is all making sense to you, especially those who turn up each and every day. If you're new here, just stick around, do the course. Will all start to make sense to you. But we're in a typical play here. Very, very nice after the liquidity sweep. Remember, we talked about it. How we react under here was key. All right, we soaked. Bull flag, continuation. Now we're looking for IB high as the target. ES has now taken out those stops, right? So ES now has a chance to go and put in a new all-time high if it can use the stops for the injection of fuel back upside. Too much for you at the moment, TR? Oh, sorry about that. Honestly, it's easy work. It's just understanding what you're looking at in front of you, where the traps are. All right, so if you think about the move this morning, this was the move. We sweat these guys out, and then we go upside because we're in bullish momentum. This is a sweep to go upside. And then we get flag, flag, flag into initial balance high on the session. There's a reason we're failing up here for now. This is where everyone's selling into prematurely. If we get above initial balance high, we either think about a trend day up. We know 200 and 220 are key levels. If we fail the initial balance high, we think about a rotation day back to view up. These are very high probability setups. Yeah, sure, do the course. Foster Scott, welcome back, buddy. Hope you're good. The course explains all of this in detail. Lots of people in chat right now have done the course. They'll be able to tell you about it. Nice, Coop. I'll catch up with you in the week. I'll catch up with everyone in Discord in the week. Just getting back into it. Have a good day at work, buddy. All right, so Friday high here is the tag on ES. All-time high sitting at high of day, 62s. Thanks, John. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. All right, and VIX is starting to fill that gap now, right? VIX trading right back down into 1360s, all right? Because it's got a gap filled down to 1350s. If it starts to fail 1350s, it has room for more downside. Remember, when the VIX is in the low teens, we are always looking for longs. Always looking for longs. Means we are risk on. There we go. Beautiful. So searching for that 200, like we said, 200 is the magnet. There's the 200, or almost. What's that? 199.75 or something? 199. So 200 is the magnet. 100 order on the book there. He's reloading, reloading, reloading. 98 left, 95 left. Through that, we can run straight up to 212s. Right, 212s is the next level if we can fill him. He keeps adding size back in here, so he's a genuine seller who's probably long all morning. Thanks, Thumper. Yeah, I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Got my family, my in-laws over at the moment, and we went and had a nice time in Palm Springs. So I still think we go and take 200 out. He's still on the book there, right? He's still adding size and on the book there. But let's just see. You should be in runners only right now, unless we get a break above the IB high and a hold of it. Otherwise, you have to be cautious of rotation. So here's the breakdown on the VIX now, trading at 1360s. Remember, 1350 break opens the door for a flush on the VIX, which will give us buying pressure on the market. We'll go risk on the market if we do that. So ES looking very, very good. After all that tapering, it held VWAP up and it's starting to break out upside here. Can we get through the 200? That's the question right here. Can we get through 200? There we go, through 200. So 220 next level, really. 212 on the book, but 220 if we think about the hourly levels. I'm just going to double, triple check that. Where's that old point of control? Maybe higher, you know, maybe higher. Next level of stops really 270. Let's call it 250 to 270. Big bunch of stops up there. Okay, be very careful here if you're looking to join here. Remember, our buy this morning, we bought down here. Continuation with these dips under. Look at this. Trap under, same play. Clear level, trap, sweep, go. Clear level, trap, sweep, go. Those are your plays for today. This is a grindy liquidity. What can we do? We can do that failed auction of the initial balance. Just be cautious because we hit the 200. Remember what we said about half an hour ago. Once the low-hanging fruit trade has gone, it becomes much harder because we need to build internal liquidity. The low-hanging fruit trade, like I kept talking about all morning, was to 200. We just took out 200 and we are failing off it. All right, so low-hanging fruit trade for the bull side has been and gone now. That's the easy play. Now you need to think about, can we soak, I'd say, in this range here? Can we build out some form of liquidity and then get above and base, or fail breakout below and go, or rotation from here. Remember, rotation from here opens the door to view up, which will be about here by the time it gets there, 2100. All right, so never got a close above the IB high here for now. So those of you who are waiting for the IB high, you haven't closed above it yet. Yeah, ES looking good. That pullback on ES on the M5 holding key areas still. I'd say you want to stay above 57 if you're playing the ES, 55, 57. All those stops on an M5 that we went and swept, you want to make sure they become buys in the market, all right? If they were a short seller this morning, if they didn't stop out on this push, on this pullback back to them, you want them to be getting out break even, initiating market orders, buying back the market so we can trade upside. A nice session here. Remember, we just said bullish only until it proves otherwise. All right, look at this move today. Bullish only, right? Just joining the trend. If we start to taper out here, we can think about shorts, but again, shorts on the session will be counter trend plays. What do I mean by that? I mean they will just be pullbacks on the higher time frame. All right, so maybe the hourly pulls back towards value area high of 21,140. I can show you that. All right, so here's your value area high right now. We are building sufficient liquidity here, so it might move, but a pullback on the lower time frame might be an hourly pullback to here, and then we go again, for example. So pullbacks today, if you're looking short, should not be sitting in them for a long time. You need to be in a scalp mentality. I'm still not looking for shorts. There's nothing here to tell me the market wants to roll over yet. We're stuck at the IB high, but we're still in bullish momentum. And you still have some orders at 200, not a lot. You got 212, you got 58 lot up there. Yeah, we bullish, bo. We are bullish. Lots of people will be trapped in this short side. Believe me, when we have these slow, grindy days up, they will look to short every pop. They will look to short the breakdowns and they get trapped. Remember, today we've offered quite a few bull traps, I would say. This double bottom here, swept, bull trap, back upside. This double to triple bottom here, swept, bull trap, back upside. This might be another one here setting up for that. Look at these wicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, definite level. But just stick with the flow zones. We are in multi-time frame bullish direction. These are the plays that I love when we are in multi-time frame, when the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, the 50 minute, the 5 minute, and the lower time frame 1 and 2 minute all want to do the same thing. It's much easier to join because it's more forgiving. Yeah, because you've got multiple time frame traders trading in the same direction. You want to be trading where the whale is trading. You want to be in his slipstream, taking a little bit of the move, making your money and getting off for the day. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Foster Scott. I like that last dip on the previous 5 minute bar. It went and held the levels that we broke out from. Yeah, so think about that tapering channel or bull flag, breakout, retest, where those stops were. It's held it for now on the ES. And I'd want to see it continue to hold that and then trade upside above 60, above 62, above that initial balance high. All-time highs above, no supply above head, remember. And you're looking for extensions. Even if you're looking at a fib extension on the day from the current high of day to that view up test, we could potentially trade into 670 on the session. So this initial balance is going to be key, like we always talk about. Can we get through 200? So 45% sale currently on for Traderify. The link's underneath. Use code FZT. 90% sale on Apex. Same thing. Links underneath. Use code FZT. It'll get you the best sale always. It does, of course, help me. I do get a small kickback on that. but it's got to go to someone. So right at that initial balance high, holding the flow zone momentum clouds for now. Yeah, well, that IB high will be all-time highs, Foster Scott. So if we break that, you're in all-time high territory on ES. VIX now trading underneath 1360. All right, it's coming back down to that support section into 1350. If it starts letting go of that, market can really, really rip. FX all red today. It's just the bonds. All right, if the bonds treasuries started having some sell pressure, we could really tear upside. But resilience in the bonds, resilience in the Dixie, all because of the tariffs. All right, Dixie running up after Trump got in because of the tariffs more than anything, giving the dollar some strength here. I still think that might end in tears next quarter, but let's see. So far, I'm 6-cent run. So failure of the initial balance high again for now. You can see the importance of this level. Right, 200 was the level all day. Like I said, for me, low-hanging fruit trade is gone. I've probably got all I'm going to get on this session unless we build a huge amount of sufficient liquidity. What did we talk about 5-10 minutes ago? This level here is key. All these stops. So either it trades under, reclaims and goes, or it trades under, stays heavy and wants to do an IB rotation back down to VWAP. What we can think about on this session, I can anchor the New York session. Let's put an anchor in just in case. There's the opening print right here. No, there we go. So into 145. So first target on that rotation will be basically into these deep pullbacks. So liquidity trend starting to taper, stay heavy, deep pullback here. Rotation from IB high to VWAP is a highly probable trade. All right, so this is your New York session anchor VWAP, the light blue one. All these stops here, remember, 175. So either sweep or protect to drive higher, or if they dump through them and stay heavy with a big imbalance, you can think about that move to the VWAP. This all sounds like gobbledygook to you. Just do the course, all right? These are very, very typical rotational plays. So there's the sweep for a start. So how we close here will matter. Again, it looks like the same thing for now over and over, doesn't it? Sweep, bull trap, go back higher. Sorry, bear trap, go back higher. We've done it. This is the third time now in the New York session that we've seen this move, sweeping internal liquidity to move back upside. But we have left an imbalance here. So how it acts here is important. Can it get above? Is this building liquidity? Here is the sweep, this candle here. So you'd want to see it start to base and go here. I'm going to be more inclined to join once I see ES starting to break out and us back above the IB high. For me, I made my money. All right, I think I had 3 attempts in the end. They were all profitable, but first one this morning was good. Second one pretty much scratched. Third one worked up to 200. Let's get these likes moving, team. Hopefully lots of you making money or at least learning on stream. Let's get these likes up to 50 likes. So 11 away. I think we've got, so far we've had the best trades of the day to the upside, reading the market well. This looks very much like another trap to move higher here for me. Same pattern over and over again. All right, like we talked about a few times so far today. Here's your double bottom, here's the sweep, there's the drive higher. Here's a double bottom, here's the sweep, there's the drive higher. This is a triple bottom pretty much, there's the sweep, there's the drive higher. This is, God, I don't know how many wicks underneath, there's the sweep, can we drive higher? right? It needs to create and use internal liquidity when we run out of external liquidity to drive for. But the big thing for me is 200 was the level that we were driving higher into, and we'd already done that. So this trade here, I like less because I've already hit my target for the day. Not my P&L target, my target of where I think the market has a high probability level of going. That doesn't mean it can't go higher. It can absolutely go higher than that. But it's the low-hanging fruit trade. I'm going to stay with you for another, just over an hour. I'll stay with you into lunch here and probably call it a day. Remember, if you're thinking about this short, if and when it gives a signal, just remember your counter trend. So you can think about this level of liquidity, you can think about VWAP, this level of liquidity, you can think about value area high, which is currently 143. So value area high is the same spot as deep pullback and VWAP right here. You can see that right here, value area high, where it's light blue. All right, this is the same level as basically where the hourly bars transitioned. So you have confluence in and around this area, I would say. Even if it does this, right? This is still a potential trade, IB high to VWAP. We talk about it all the time. Failed auction higher can offer a trade back down to here. Not one close here, even on a 1 minute, above the IB high. Right, so those trend continuation days, we cannot say we're in a trend continuation day until we are comfortably above the IB high. So ignore that Nightbot. That Apex link will get you 90% off right now. Think that it doesn't last long, right? The 90% sale, I think, is 48 hours or something like that, and the $125 activation fee across any account size is longer. I think that's for most this month, but I will double check that. So selling pressure coming in. Does it head back down towards the New York VWAP? All right, think about the liquidity underneath. Where would I mark my change of character? Probably right here. This for me here, all right? Because I ignore the internals. This for me. Many would argue it's this, but for me, this low created this high. So on the lower time frame, this is the level. It would be right to say lower high, lower low, lower high. You'd need to see lower high in here somewhere. But we are coming back towards this key level, VWAP. This is the high probability trade that we talk about. When we fail to get above IB high, it comes back down towards VWAP. We did not close below this, we swept. Oh, sorry about that. Really, if you look at like an M5, let's flip you over. Oh, sorry, I had you on the wrong chart. Just think about all this liquidity we've built, all right? And then we've started tapering across, started going sideways here. So the high probability thing is to come and search for this. Remember, you never want to be buying high. The only time I would buy it high up here is if we're above the IB high. I kept talking about, that's why I didn't take it. So VWAP, there you go. IB high to VWAP. High probability trade done and dusted. All right, that is a high probability trade there. Failed to auction above, rotation back to value. Failed auction above, rotation back to value. Remember, I anchored that off the New York Open and we've reacted right off it. What else is there? Value area high on the session. We went over this 5-10 minutes ago. All right, value area high. You can see it on your SVP on an H1. It's where most of the volume had been built. Big reaction there off VWAP. That is the first New York VWAP touch of the session, I think. That's a lie. We did tap it into 945. But I would say we're in bearish momentum, but you need to be very, very careful. Right, we've just flipped bearish, but you need to be very, very careful here. This will need to stay heavy. Really, this can be a value buy. Higher time frame momentum is still upside. Remember what I said, if you're taking shorts today, you need to be thinking about scalp mentality because you are just shorting a higher time frame pullback. Yes, that was anchored VWAP. Yeah, off the New York Open. Off the New York Open. So again, if you don't understand this stuff, just do the course. It's all in there. I lay it out for you. Everything is in there. Just a rotation off the initial balance high, a failed auction above it. We rotate to VWAP, and then we wait to see, do buyers come in, soak the bids, or are we now going to look for a resell point? Remember, this here is your imbalance on that kill candle. There's your imbalance. We've traded back into it. You'd want to see continuation lower. If you're short, you need a break of structure here and continuation, and then you can think about this VWAP and these levels of liquidity. Remember, that will be a completed cup on this session. Otherwise, you can just mark this out for a downtrend and you can think about where this might end. So we know we've had lots of liquidity here. If we trade back into here, this is your pattern. This is your breakout, retest, right shoulder, go. Yeah, the easiest way, if you're not short, just wait for IB high. We talked about it all morning. Low-hanging fruit trade, been and gone. We took the trade to 200, kept calling it out. Ever since 9:20 this morning, since before the market opened, I said 200 is the level we want to trade into. You'll notice ES failed to make a new all-time high in its push. So again, divergence across the market. This right here, those of you who trade ICT or SMC, this right here is an SMT. Yeah, divergence. It's just a divergence. Call it what you want. It's a divergence. One market swept the liquidity, one market didn't, and we've failed since then. So you can see that sell signal starting. It's right in that imbalance. It's because we're starting to flip the M1 flow zones. For me, we can still consolidate here. But we had bounced. Again, VIX held. All right, so VIX traded down to 53. Remember I said it would have to snap 50 for more upside pressure in this market. It held 53. It's got to bounce off there. It might now come and attack in towards 80, 1380. But we filled the gap on the VIX. That was key. Gap fill on the VIX has been completed. Holding 1350s, that was the key area. If it continues to trade upside on the VIX, market will have downside pressure. Remember, this is counter trend. You are in a pullback leg on the higher time frame. So if you're going to take this, you need a break of structure here. You should be taking partials, and then you're just looking for continuation. Two levels of liquidity that you can see by looking left. Remember, this here is a huge, huge level. Value area high, H1, previous candle close, VWAP, deep pullback. Everything is in this level right now. Hopefully, most of you should have made money with me this morning trading upside. That's why I'm not in a rush. I said to the team this morning, I'm going to take my time on the Monday. Made my money, got the low-hanging fruit. That's probably me done. I'm going to let it build internal liquidity now if I'm even considering anything else. Drop me a W in chat if you've made money with me this morning. Hopefully, there's a decent amount in here who took the longs with me. So first bounce, now here's your continuation. So this is looking good for downside. So I'd be targeting, if you're in this short, 126. Let's call it 100, 21,100, 21,090. This is the next view up on the day. All right, this is the normal view up, not the anchored one. Oh, look at all of you guys making money. Noah, Aaron and Taylor, Bo, Chris, Thumper, small W's, they all add up, buddy. Max, 200 more to reach your goal. Just be patient with your goal, mate. Don't force anything. Remember, process over profits always. And look at the ES. ES is traded all the way back down to its IB low. So tight range here on ES on the day. Really only 10 points. Small L, no worries. Foster Scott, we'll get that back, don't you worry. So reaction off IBL here and algo on the ES. So again, divergence in this market at play. Also reaction off the H1, right? I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Remember this level here, basic SNR. This is a key level, right? This was resistance. Does it become support? This is value area high. Does it become support? Do they soak the bid here? If they're going to let this H1 go, look how far we can reprice, right? This morning squeeze, we can reprice this whole thing if it wants, especially down here. I'd say 140 to 100 is pretty thin on volume. Yeah, exactly, Foster Scott. If you joined after the initial balance was created today, you missed most of the move, so it's okay. Just be patient now, wait for the next setup. We're building liquidity to the left, right? We've built that downtrend, we've come down to the key level. There's really two plays to look for. You've got to be thinking, when does this finish? Okay, does this finish already? I'm going to trade upside, or are we looking for, pullback continuation into around here? Like I said, any short today is counter trend. Definitely what's made this hard today, if you're trading NQ, is the ES, right? ES has been weak. It's been weak on the session, but it's not surprising because it's basically at all-time highs. So really it's just building liquidity in a 10 to 12 point range off all-time highs right now. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Foster Scott got long in XRP. Nice trade. I'm long in a load of shit coins right now. I really don't care about. If they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. But I was up quite nicely over the weekend. Crypto always goes for weekend pumps. But Bitcoin right now trading at 97. I still think it breaks out of that 100K. And then after it does that big breakout move, maybe we get a rotation back in. So watching this liquidity here, remember this is your structure for downside right now. So either continuation or this might be the start of ending the higher time frame pullback. New hourly bar here as well. Oh, nice, Foster Scott. Yeah, beautiful. So what are you long from? I can't remember when it failed and did that big dump and then started to break out about 2 weeks ago, I think. You don't have to say if you're uncomfortable saying it, of course. So do we hold dips here into, I'd say 58 or 60, or are we going to get a continuation lower? Are we going to protect this and continue lower? ES looks very, very heavy here, trading back down into that IBL. Like I said, low-hanging fruit trade for me is gone. Just sitting here watching, waiting for it to build out liquidity to think about if I'm even interested in another play. Oh, I love it. Nice work. So 6,050 key level, IBL on the ES. Trading back down towards Friday close here on ES. And the SPY. I need to build up my screen tolerance again after a week away, not looking at the screens at all. Okay, so do we do that inverted head and shoulder here for a move back up on the NQ? Again, what's going to make it hard is where ES is trading. ES trading back down underneath VWAP at its IBL. I didn't do the tram, you know. I didn't do the tram. Let me just close this so I get a bit of glare on my screen. To be honest, Steve, what I mainly did was drink and eat. So it was really hot. It was like 75 to 78 degrees most days, blue skies. Did quite a lot of hiking, lounging by the pool. I grilled quite a lot. We went out for some very nice dinners and drinks. I attacked the bottle of whiskey, which my father-in-law bought me. I had a couple of stogies, and I didn't do much else. So I just really kicked back and relaxed, which is probably why I've got a bit of a cold. I always feel like every time I start to relax, my body starts not shutting down, but relaxes enough to start getting ill, which is not good. So hopefully I shift this cold in the next 24 to 48 hours. So this internal liquidity here then that we just talked about, this downtrend, breakout, pullback, does it hold this and start to go back upside here? I don't know. I do not know. ES has been weak. We've hit our target. In a normal session, if ES was basing at the highs, I would say we have a chance to do it. What is a concern, if you're looking for the upside, is above 180, there's no real orders to go and fill now. Phil, oh, come on, talk properly. The guy that was at sort of 215, 212, he's pulled his orders. So there's no seller up there now. So maybe he's looking to get filled here at 180. It might be the same guy sort of separating his orders out into smaller blocks. Good drive off the IBL here on ES. Back above its VWAP. Looking good here for that move that we talked about. Here it goes. There you go. So called it, but I'm not in it. But this is what we were talking about. All right here. Push, pull. Just do this very simple downtrend. There you go. Comes and reattacks it. There's your reversal. So your target now, if you're in this or taking it, should be the initial balance high. Then you should be holding your runners above that. I will watch the tape for you to see if sellers come back on as magnets. And that's what I'd be looking at. So you could even partial sum out here because we know this is supply. But really you want to take this out and this out for a run up to here. Probably should have taken that. I probably should have taken it. If I call it, I've got to take it, haven't I? Might still offer an entry. This hourly candle looking very good, trading through point of control right now. So we've increased value area high on the day, increased point of control upside. Still think we can trade up. I think this can be a slow grind day. All right, I really think we have a chance if ES stops being an idiot, right? We can start to do this kind of move. If we fail IB high, again, be cautious. In on that, yeah, lovely, Foster Scott. Good work. Looks good. Looks good to me. Consolidation at high of day or around high of day. Just a pullback to the anchored VWAP. But we have flip point of control up here now, so definitely a lot of volume traded up here. More volume than anywhere else in the session has been traded up here. Even without using session volume profile, you can see that, right? Because we've been up here for a long period of time. So volume, point of control is right in the middle of all of this, right? All of this, that's your POC. So again, just look for continuation longs here. Yes, rebalancing the M5 kill candle. If it can get through this on ES, it's got another chance. It really has got a chance. 50 minutes until lunch. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Trying to join a little bit of this. Come on, let's get going. Let's get going. Here we go, beautiful. So in a little bit of this, just small size, because it's a little bit late. I just joined this dip here for this flag and push. So up just 10 points here, but expecting this to move higher now. Just watching ES here. I don't want ES to fail into this old M5 block. So again, like I said, continuation plays here. This. There's your shoulder after the breakout. Here's your flag. I just joined here for this move up to IB high, right? Really simple. Keep it really simple. Don't need to overtrade it. Think about projections for this. If this flag is going to go, maybe we can trade up to 245, so might as well call it 250 on a fib. But 161 of this consolidation area up here. 161 would take you basically to 45s. Should be right in this supply, right? So 43.25. If we can get going. Remember, nothing confirmed for trend day up on NQ until we can base above the IB high. Same with ES. ES technically is in a rotational day. It's trapped between IB high and IB low on the ES. Just watching that 5-minute block there on ES, so it trades right up to, let's say, what's the close of that? 59. So right up to it, hasn't flipped it yet. Do me a favor, guys. I need 14 more likes here to get up to 50. Let's get it up to 50. We got to get there each and every day. I know there's a few less of you on stream here than normal, probably because it's my first day back, but let's get this moving. So again, on Qs, you wouldn't want it to fade below this level where we just broke up from internally. You'd want it to hold this again above here. This kind of move. There's your neck, break, go. Nine likes left. Come on, team, do me a favor. Looking good here. The 45 seconds for a 5-minute bar. Don't want this to close weak. Yes, just trading right in a range right now. All session just trapped in a, I don't know what that is, 10, 12 point range or something. Yeah, 12 point range. Looking at the daily on NQ, you know, just trading right back into this area of consolidation. Like I said, on the daily, I wouldn't mind, to get you into a daily, I wouldn't mind if we consolidate here for a bit, because we're going to do this. And then if this comes down and then opens up, and then we do this move for December, and then we can deal with next year once we get there. That's what I would like to see happen on the daily. I'd like some consolidation here, just like we did here. Right, and we've pivoted above this level. We look very, very bullish on the dailies. Max 152. What's 152, my friend? Oh, to go. Okay, I understand. Just make sure you don't focus too much on that. Remember, if the opportunity isn't there today, it will present itself tomorrow or the day after. Some days you'll make more money than other days, and that's okay. It's all about what the market offers you. It's good to have a goal, but don't worry if you don't hit it. Just make sure you don't force yourself into something trying to hit a goal if the market's not in a position to give it to you. Hopefully that makes sense. Volume sort of starting to taper off here, right? Really starting to taper off since really 11 o'clock. We get back above IB, I think we can get going, but it is definitely starting to taper off. Another flag here, building for that move towards the initial balance high. It's what they're trying to build. They want to come and take out the IB high. They want to get it higher. The question is ES going to play ball? Yeah, just take your time, don't worry. just in a range here. Not much to do unless it can expand. Not a whole lot we can do with it. Ears are popping, everything's starting to get bunged up. It's not good. Not a good sign for me for the week. My ears and sinuses. My wife got ill about 2 days ago, so I'm probably a couple of days behind. They're going to follow. I'm going to take a load of vitamin C as soon as I get off stream, lots of supplements, and see if I can beat it. So again, what I would be looking at here really is this play here. Can we get above here for trend continuation? Otherwise, you're really in a giant range. Yes, again, cannot get through that 5-minute block, cannot get a close above Friday's high of day at the moment, right? At the moment. Maybe we get going here. Very tempted to take one last trade here and have a crack at this squeeze. All right, I'm going to take it. Looking good. Scalping some out already. Just in case it's a failed break. Just holding flow zones, looking for this break above. Let's call it 90 for a squeeze above IB high. Very small size right now. What I don't like is there's no volume coming in for this shove. I wanted to see volume come and squeeze straight through, but maybe it will join. 1 minute left, 1 second left for a new 5-minute. All right, out there, break even. Can always join back in, but new 5-minute bar here, so. It doesn't want to go. It's going to go. It's probably going to go when I've had enough. Still looks good. Consolidation of a flag here. Remember, above here, we have the chance to go. Yeah, NQ looking good, but we've been here a little while now on NQ. 5-minute bar might want to reprice towards 73. We flip that old block though on NQ, which we haven't flipped on ES yet. So again, more divergence. Like I said, didn't like that a lack of volume came in there to drive it higher. Definitely a major tapering on the volume here. Bit of a lackluster session after that morning drive for the IB high. Yeah, exactly. Bo. Yeah, that 73 level on the M5. That's what I was looking at. Doesn't want to drive down into that first. It might not want to go higher, honestly, if it's just going to trap on ES and base up here. Like we talked about on the daily on NQ, it can just base here for a few days. Might have to do some consolidation sideways for a little bit, which would be around where we are now. Right, so it could just range here for a few days or a few sessions, potentially. SPY back to VWAP. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, low-hanging fruit trade, been and gone, like we talked about. Oh, I'm still on the M5. Sorry. 5 minute. I mean, 5 minutes just tapering right now. Coming into lunch. It all depends whether they hold this imbalance or if they're just going to let the whole thing go. If they've trapped enough buyers up high. Like we said, we had that move that we wanted. It's really important to think about this when you're day trading. Like once we hit a very obvious target that we're going for, it has to then build lots of liquidity because everyone's really looking at that same target. That target today was 200. And once we hit that target, the easy trade has been and gone. So here's the 73 move. Do they hold this? This is basically where we broke out from, or are we just going to start rotating down? Right, so this is where we broke out from. Again, problem is ES. There's now a buy on the book down at 100. Right, it's just come on the book, 150 lot. VWAP. Right, he's on the book at VWAP. It's only 70 points away. It might seem like a lot, but it really isn't. Could happen very, very quickly if it wanted to. So a little extension through the 73s on that run. It's holding for now. For me, I think I'm done. My bias still says that this has the potential to go higher, but we are sort of having to build out a lot of liquidity here. Bobo was right. Yeah, Bobo was saying exactly what I'd said like 2 minutes before, and that's why I had it on the M5. We were both discussing this M5 level, right? This is where you can see it. This imbalance right here, the reason we were talking about that level was this wick right here, right? We came down, we overextended it, but we didn't close below. Now we're repricing to this wick. Now we can potentially go upside. So it's just a matter of understanding the liquidity. Like we said, it's this level here. Even if you're not using the M5, it's this level here, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neck, breakout, retest neck, flag. Can we get going? It's the same question over and over again. It's the same patterns over and over again. It's just whether it offers a good risk reward to get involved. A little bit more volume starting to step in now. If ES can build this M5 flag after repricing, maybe it has one more attempt before lunch. Yeah, exactly, Bobo. It needs to reprice. It always needs to reprice, because if it leaves in a rush, it means it hasn't picked up enough orders. So we've gone, if you look now, we've gone from one side to the other side on an M5. It looks bullish to me, but I just really don't like that we've already done the main move for the day. We're also stuck at POC. It's never a nice look right here. Right, we're stuck at POC. I still favor upside. Right? I favor upside on the session until it proves otherwise. Really, I don't really like the shorts unless I know all these buys are out the money. So if we think about this as the main area of consolidation, if we start breaking out down underneath this, then you can think about continuation, VWAP, lower time frame algo. This is the old high from last week. Where is it? Here, from the 25th of November. So if it's a technical breakout, we can reprice to the old high and even back to the New York Open and still be bullish on a higher time frame, which is why I favor the longs for the sessions. Just you're buying high now, so you need internal liquidity to be trapped now. I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again, but it's important you understand why. "30 minutes left. I will try and stay with you for 30 minutes. I don't think I'm going to take a trade. I think this is about to squeeze upside, but I don't think I'm going to take it. But we'll stick around. This being the key level right here that we broke out from. You want to see this build here. That's what you're looking for. If you've got any questions, get them in now before I leave for the day. Just get back to some emails here. What a weird question. Won't be answering that. Ninja Trader or Tradeovate? Well, they're both the same company now, Max, so you can run both. If you're web-based, if you're playing off a Mac, use Tradeovate. If you're PC-based and you want faster execution, I would say use Ninja. But you can flip between the two because Tradeovate has been bought by Ninja. So if you're using someone like Traderfy, you can actually just flip between the two. PC, yeah, I would say you use Ninja Trader is probably fast execution if you've got a good PC. If you prefer web-based, just use Tradeovate. If you prefer trading off TradingView, use Tradeovate. But when you're getting into trading multiple accounts, Ninja probably better for you. So another good drive here. Really looks like it wants to just build and go, doesn't it? Really does. Oh, sorry, my bad. What movie is it, Trading Wizard? Exister, you're starting to hate Ninja Trader. Why is that? Plenty of other things you can use. Oh, it's an old Arnie film. You know what? You needed to do brackets Arnie accent. Who's your daddy and what does he do? That's what you need to do. I can't get it otherwise. Dominique. Yes, still everything's still building. It looks like it wants to do that big squeeze move, but volume just petering right out other than that last bar. Good drive. Looking good here. It's looking good here. Just again, it's the same thing we've been saying all day. You just have a little divergence. It'd be good if ES would just join, which is just failing to do. There you go. There's IB. 200 still the level. Squeeze through 200 opens the door for more upside. Exister, that sucks. I used to have some issues like that. What I had to do was create a whole new I can't think what you call it, like where you save all your charts. I had one that was bugged, so I just created a new one. Miguel, would I recommend NQ over ES? Do you mean as a product to trading daily? It depends on your style and strategy. ES probably easier to sit through, less moves on the swings, probably you can be a bit more cautionary. NQ is a little bit more violent, so you get paid quicker but you lose quicker. ES a little bit more steady. So if you like to sit in trends and stuff, I'd say ES is a good one to do. Here's your squeeze then. So finally got going, didn't it? Finally. There's the flag. Here's the liquidity. There's the flag. It had to build all this internal liquidity, like we said, after we took 200, and now the squeeze is on. So how high can it go? Looking at the hourly. $280 is really the next set of stops. 225 and then 280. If we're thinking about a fib, like we said earlier, if we're thinking about extensions off this move into 250, 240, 250. That sucks, Exister. Yeah, maybe just wipe it all and start again with regards to Ninja files. That's very annoying. You can always trade on Tradeovate while you're fixing it. So ES back to Friday's high of day, that 60 level key. Eventually got the move. We eventually got that move. So 220, 225. There are some small orders on the book. There's a 31 lot up at 250. Nothing really above that. It's just really simple, really. Really simple. There's your tapering channel, overextension. So you need IB to hold now. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we have trend day. Like I said, it's best to stick with the longs today. Question is, how high can it go? This is definitely a squeeze, though. Look at all the shorts who got trapped in this, kept shorting. It's their fuel sending us higher now. Right into this supply block. Yeah, first target on ES would be the IBH. It's your high of day. Through that, you're into all-time high territory. Six more likes, team. Come on, 6 more likes. Let's get to 50. No, the volume's starting to step in here. That's because the shorts, they're stopping out, buying back the market, increasing the volume. Nice, TR. Good work, good work. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Don't fight the trend, Bo. Exactly that. Market wanted upside today. Just stick with it. Multi-time frame is upside. Like I said, if you're taking shorts today, it would have had to be a scalp counter trend for that trend to finish. So the hourly scalp was from here to here, right? This is a new hourly bar down here. Look, 11 o'clock. That was the pullback on the hourly bar. Now we're in continuation. Understanding the link between the multiple time frames is very important when trading. So 225 taken now. Remember, 45 to 50 is the fib that we talked about. The 161 extension of the consolidation we've just done would take us to 45 to 50. And guess what VIX is doing? It is starting to break down underneath 1350. This is what we said, that key level on VIX. If it starts to let go of this in a hurry, we can get a rush to the upside. Nice, Foster Scott, good work. I think you're up like 4 or 5 points on that. Where did you get long? 58. So yeah, very nice. We are really into daily levels now. 257-ish. Just call it 250 is big. It's a big level. Above that, it's really just the all-time high level on NQ. And like I kept saying, that was made in Asia. That was not made in a New York session. So volume above here to all-time high. This is light volume. This was post-election when we started to fail. This was all done in an overnight session. Good work, guys. Lots of you took this for the long. Very, very nice. Just important not to fight the trend. It's really that simple. When there's a clear and obvious trend, just try and find ways of joining it. Once we got through IB high, we really started to motor. Look at the volume that came in once we came through the IB high. Much more volume started to come in. Starting to taper off here as we come into the supply zones that we kept talking about. Nice, Max. So have you hit your daily target for the day now, Max? Lovely work. No more trades for you then. Stick to your rules, lock it down, and we come back tomorrow and we do the same thing again. Nice, very, very nice. Just make sure you don't give back. Yeah, exactly. Move your stop loss up with it. Ryan, switch from micros to NQ. So you're trading full size now. So big profits, big losses. That's all right. Just manage it. So ES swept previous day high, swept current session high, swept initial balance high, came back inside. Good work, Max. Lovely work. So just be cautious here of failed breakouts. You're 15 minutes to lunch. Remember, you have very, very clear and obvious divergences in this market right now. Good work, Ryan. Nice green day, hopefully. Stopped out there. I'm guessing you stopped out on the runner. You took the IB high break, I'm guessing. Yeah, great work, buddy. Really nice. So if you're going to wait for pullback now, really you want that initial balance high to hold. You will have to be careful just because of the divergence. Again, we said today 200 through 200, 225 was the level. Go back, watch the stream. It's exactly what we're talking about. This red block, start of supply that we've had marked out all morning. If we pull back to here and we put in some form of W pattern, we can go upside. Be careful if this is a failed breakout and we trade downside for the rest of the day and liquidity starts to build and chop. Again, be careful with ES. You have divergence. Right, we're comfortably above the IB in the Qs. We are not in the ES. I've got to change those codes, haven't I? Let's just do that now before I forget. Oh, thank you, Bobo. Appreciate that. I do my best to call what I'm seeing. Won't always get it right, but we've been pretty good on stream since we started all together. High win rate on stream, that's for sure. Yeah, very similar to the 90s. Well, my mentor was Roger Sanchez, so that's probably why. I had a couple records with him back in the day. The last prop icon on the footer, Tick Tick Trader. So still trading upside. No reason to pick tops, right? Just stick with the trend. Trend is upside. You have 11.5 minutes until lunch, until you get that last hourly bar. TR. Oh, yes, I know him. Oh, Roger. Yeah. He's been around the block. Yeah, I used to have records with him and who else? Todd Terry, Boy George, Jamiroquai. I worked with all those guys back in the day. Yeah, building some volume. I'd say as much as anything, it's the stops getting run out. So yeah, breakout buyers coming in and shorts getting run out, which is why you got that increase in volume. I'd be very cautious about buying up here now, though. Yeah, remember, important to zoom out. Where did we buy today? We bought here, we bought here, here. Some of you just took this. This is very high from here, right? Your IB low. We're extended. So you've got to be careful if you're buying up high now. Value area buys have gone. Doesn't mean we can't go higher. Just means what are your risk parameters right now? Like this looks very easy to get taken out and come back to a level of support. Even if you go to like a M5 or something. Right? Where do we break out from? This is your IB high. This is the last block. This is the imbalance. Can easily reprice this and remain bullish. Don't get caught chasing the market. If it goes without you, it goes without you. So be it. A lot of you are in this long. Maybe you've got runners or maybe you closed out for the session. That's also okay. Remember, you're coming into lunch now as well. Ministry of Sound. Yeah, I used to play there a lot in the box. Range expansion. I'm guessing you mean from the whole of last week. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the daily. It's exactly what we talked about. I'm not sure if you were here at the very, very beginning of the stream. But really what we had in the daily, all right, this was election. This was election euphoria. This was pullback to fill the imbalance where we broke out from. This was grind back up. This was the chance and the only chance shorts had to make a lower high on the higher time frame, which would have needed to be followed by a breakdown of this level. They failed to do it. Here's your trap last week and a push up. So we're in bullish momentum. So what would we like to see? We'd like to see some form of consolidation, breakout, pullback, continuation higher into January. These would be the easiest trades. Then you'll get expansion on the Bollinger Bands and the 5-day will start to catch up. Notice we held the 5-day today. The 5-day will catch up and will support price action for a continuation of higher time frame trend. That's what I would like to see happen. Whether we get it is another thing, but it feels probable. Just when I zoom out, here is our 5-day. So when was this? Last week. Friday last week, we went from 20-day back through 5-day extension, held 5-day in a huge flag into Asia, London, and we've expanded off this 5-day. Bang. That is very bullish. Very, very bullish from a daily point of view. So everything's lined up perfectly. 20-day, 5-day, higher time frame algo, lower time frame algo, deep pullback and momentum clouds. Everything is in multiple time frame trend bullish. The question you need to ask yourself this week is how can I buy and where can I buy? You don't want to be buying the tops. Yeah, both, Ryan. Yeah, both. Apple Music, everywhere, literally everywhere. But I'm done today for the day. Made my money. Not a huge day. Up $838. That's absolutely fine. More than enough for a first day back. Back in the day, it was tough love. So ES back to its IB high. This is where you have to be cautious of. So ES IB high is basically here. These are stops. This can come all the way back down into this level and below and still be bullish on the NQs. Why you do not want to get caught buying high here. So ES now trading back to Friday's high, right? Previous day high. That's what ES is testing right now, underneath the initial balance high. You are into lunch. Pretty much, there or thereabouts. Traders have made good money this morning, bidding long all day. Just remember where your liquidity is. Where is support? I can't see any support until we get down into here, all right? Breakout, retest. These are areas you might want to buy in. But have we already hit the goals for today? We have, right? We hit 200, we hit 225, we extended into the red box, which is supply. So be careful for the rest of the day if you're going to hang around, because if we do this move, right, and we use this liquidity, we can come lower, back down to here, New York open. I'm not saying it does that. I'm just saying be careful. It would look like that. Or we can just trade in W or consolidate or start to curl, again, reclaim and look for higher prices. But what I'm not going to be doing is buying in supply, right? Rule number one, we don't buy in supply. We don't sell in demand. Need more of you to hit the like button, please. Let's get it to 50. We got to do 50 every day. I need to hit that 50 mark every single day here. Help me grow this stream. Share this stream with your friends. If you learned something today, do me a favor. Share the stream with your friends. Lots of you made money with me today. First day back on stream since vacation. So pulling back here as expected after that extension on the squeeze. Remember, we ran all the stops. We're not at support right now. This can come back deeper if it wants to. If they've hit their target for the day, it doesn't even need to be supported in the retest, right? If they've hit their target for the day, as in if 225 was the target like we talked about, so the same question here over and over again. Is this a bear trap? Well, they've done all day and reclaim, or finally, because we're in supply, do they reject this? Every single time we've done this move today, it's been a bear trap because we're in higher time frame bullish momentum. Double bottom, sweep, reclaim, go. Can show you it over and over again. Bottom, sweep, reclaim, re-go. Bottom, sweep, reclaim, go. Bottom, sweep, reclaim, go. Bottom, sweep, reclaim, go. Bear traps. Those of you who have joined me many, many times, you will know, how do we buy high? We buy bear traps. It's the only reason, only way I would buy high on a session. Definitely not buying this one because we're 2 minutes into lunch. Or until lunch, I should say. ES looking good here. Dip below previous day high, now repricing back up to the initial balance high. You need to see it get a closure above and start to base above, really. But certainly not something I'm going to take now. I'm going to call it a day. First day back in the seat. I always like to take it nice and slow. One more minute. And then our sign-off team. So you know the plan for the rest of the day. I've showed you the support. I've showed you where it is. You know the setups. If we start to fail and consolidate in there, be very, very careful. Oh, there we go. Thank you, guys. Over 50 finally. And I'll be back tomorrow morning. All right, 9:20. Before market opens. Remember, we've got some news dropping tomorrow as well. Fed talk is later in the day. Let's see how we close tonight. Can we close bullish? Can we stay up in these daily areas of consolidation? Now, I'd like to see us close high on the session. Even if we close where we are now, that's absolutely fine. If we can consolidate for a session or two, I think it really lends itself to an expansion higher on the daily and weekly charts. That's what I'd be looking for this week. So stay bullish all the time it's offering it to you. If you are absolutely obsessed with getting short, just remember you are counter trend across multiple time frames. So if you're going to take that short, you are short into a high time frame pullback zone and not beyond it. All right, do not be expecting some huge waterfall moment that the market's going to suddenly die, because we are in a multiple time frame buying model right now. All right, I'll be back same time tomorrow. Look forward to having you on stream. For those that are done the course and in the Discord, I will pop in there later on in the day. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Peace and love. Use hard stops. Be kind to each other. See you soon.